tired of all that confusing financial advice out there? Want to actually master personal finance? Well, in this deep dive, we are tackling probably the ultimate money question: credit cards versus debit cards. We're going to uncover some smart spending tips, talk about how to build credit responsibly, and really unlock financial security so you can avoid those common debt traps. This isn't just theory, okay? It's practical money management designed to empower your financial future. So, our mission today is pretty clear. Unpack the pros and cons using what our sources say to figure out which one might be the, let's say, smarter choice for you.
Yeah, and it's interesting because right off the bat, our sources kind of challenge what lots of people think, that debit cards are just automatically safer. And look, they feel secure, right? Because you're only spending money you actually have. That makes sense. But the reality, when you dig into it, is a bit more nuanced. Credit cards, if you use them responsibly, they actually offer some pretty compelling benefits. It really comes down to discipline.
Okay, so let's jump into that. You mentioned benefits, and one huge one the sources point out is security. This is critical. They draw a really sharp line here. With a credit card, if someone makes dodgy charges, unauthorized ones, your liability is often zero. Getting it sorted is usually quite straightforward because fundamentally, it's the bank's money on the line initially, not yours.
Exactly. And contrast that with debit cards. A transaction comes straight out of your checking account, like immediately. So if your card details get nicked, it's your actual cash that's gone missing.
Mm.
And getting that money back, it can be a much bigger fight, take way longer.
Right, a real headache.
It really can be. So that difference, it's not small. It gives you a level of, well, peace of mind. And think about this too, like renting a car. They put a hold on your card. With a debit card, that freezes your actual money. Poof, gone from your usable balance. With a credit card, it's just a hold against your credit limit. Your cash flow isn't really affected in the same way.
Okay, that's a really practical point. So if credit cards have better protection, why do so many people still feel debit is the safe way to go? Our sources seem to say it's less about the plastic itself and more about, well, your self-control, understanding your limits, knowing how things like billing cycles work.
Yeah, and that's the core tension, isn't it? The argument for debit is strong.
Yeah.
It forces discipline. You simply cannot spend more than you have in the bank. And for some people, that's crucial. But if you do have good financial awareness, credit cards become this really powerful tool. Like understanding the billing cycle, it's not just about avoiding late fees, though that's important too. It's about using the grace period. You can essentially use the bank's money interest-free for like up to maybe 50, 60 days sometimes if you pay the full balance by the due date.
That's the key part, the full balance.
Absolutely. That's a huge cash flow advantage. People call it the credit card float.
Mm-hmm.
The danger zone is when you don't have that knowledge or maybe the self-control slips. Then that interest-free perk turns into, well, very expensive debt very quickly.
Right. So discipline is the linchpin. Let's build on that and talk about how these cards actually influence our spending habits day to day. Debit cards, as we said, keep you strictly within your means. That definitely helps build a habit of budgeting. Credit cards, though, they give you leverage, access to funds you don't technically have yet, which, okay, can be good for emergencies or, like we mentioned, building that all-important credit score.
Mm-hmm. And that's the siren song, right? The temptation. It's so easy to just make the minimum payment, especially if the balance gets high. And that's how you end up in that awful debt cycle, paying loads of interest. But, and this is a big, but if you are strategic, the perks can be amazing, seriously valuable. We've talked about fraud protection, but think about cashback rewards, getting money back on stuff you buy anyway. Travel points, they can save you thousands.
Oh, yeah, travel points are huge.
Right. Airport lounge access, extended warranties. These aren't just little things. They add real measurable value. Getting 5% back on groceries, that's actual money back in your pocket.
Definitely adds up. But we absolutely need a word of caution here, particularly, maybe, for younger adults just starting out. The sources are pretty clear that, aggressive marketing for credit cards can push people into spending they regret later.
Mm.
Big time. It just hammers home that point.
Mm.
Get the financial literacy piece down first. Understand your habits before you jump into credit cards.
Couldn't agree more. It all boils down to knowing yourself, financially speaking.
So, okay, let's wrap this up. If we distill everything we've talked about from our sources, the main takeaway really is about responsible use. It's about your financial know-how.
Yeah. If you trust yourself, if you have the discipline to track spending, understand how billing works, and crucially, pay off that balance in full every single month, then credit cards honestly offer better security, great perks, and they help you build your credit history. That's a clear advantage.
But on the flip side, if you prefer that absolute certainty of only spending what's yours right now, and you want zero temptation to overspend, then yeah, sticking with a debit card is definitely the simpler, maybe safer route for you, even if it means missing out on those rewards.
The smartest choice isn't really about the card itself, is it?
No, it's about you.
Oh.
So the big question for your wallet is, are you ready to practice that financial discipline to unlock all those strategic benefits? Or does the path of sort of maximum safety and simplicity feel like the better fit right now, the real smarter choice? It's less about the plastic and more about the mindset you bring to every single time you spend money.